How do you go from $13 a click to 13 cents a click? Check out this new platform that I found and I'll show you exactly how to do it. So basically, I exported all the data that it did, right? And what it does is it tells you the terminology, right? And then, like best book entrepreneur, and it tells you the search term. So in column G there, you see like the search volume. And then it tells you the cost per click. So what I did is I filtered all these to find the highest search volume and the lowest cost per click. So if I was going to do a paid marketing campaign, I'm not going to do it with key terms that are getting $12, $15, $30 a click, right? Because there are some that competitive. I'm going to look for ones that are similar in the area that I want around like entrepreneurship, like great entrepreneur books, right? If I paid 81 cents a click for leads that came through, like I could probably make a good return on that marketing budget if I could do that. And the search volume's high enough that I think I could get in front of the right people if I had the right content to put in front of them. So if I had like an ebook or something and I say, hey, here's a free ebook for entrepreneurs and entitle it Great Entrepreneur Ebook, download now for free. I get their email address. I put them into a campaign now where I'm pushing out my other content to them, content that I can actually monetize. So this website that I was showing you guys is a great tool to play around, and they have a free version. Like I have the paid version, but you can do the free version and it still gives you great insight. So just answerthepublic.com.
If you have a Google business account, you can also do that with like Google keywords as well. Because I had a friend of mine take a look at my website. Because this is what he does. He finds out the keywords and how to push people there and using it kind of like in a free way. And if you have a Google business account, in the settings, you can look up what words like cost pretty much. And like domains and stuff, but you can find like which keywords bring people to like, so if you put like, we'll use pizza delivery guy, it might have like delivering in Boston pizza, and it'll tell you like what keywords are most searched, and you can utilize that in your websites. So you get kind of free advertising just by using these keywords. Another thing that he told me is, AI, the way AI searches now is AI is looking for keywords as well. So you have to look for, he says, go on your, whatever you use, ChatGPT or Sora or whatever, and punch in, similar things to your business and see what keywords the AI is looking for as it's searching, because that's another free way to get more clicks on your website. So, yeah, just thought I'd throw that in there.
Yeah, and actually, Jordan, we were talking about that for your own business, right? Of whether or not like you should post like your pricing online too, but AI bots scrape that. So if your competitor is not putting their pricing and you are, and somebody says, hey, what's the average cost for ground penetrating radar? Your company will come up with a note of where they got that lead source from, and it would bring them right to your website. So again, there's Google, there's Bing, there's all these other ones, but there's also voice search, things that you have to get in front of. There's AI scrapes you got to get in front of. So these are all things you need to consider when having a small business. But this was a cool tool. I just started playing around with it. I think it's awesome, just a way to, see exactly what are people asking, like exactly word for word what people are asking. And then I scrape it to see, hey, what's the biggest value for me right here? Which key terms are not going to cost me a ton to get in front of, but I'm still going to get in front of my audience, right? And then I can build my content around specifically that exact thing. So literally I would have that title written out, and that's exactly the title of my advertisement, what it's going to be. So when people search that, it's literally word for word going to match my advertisement. And when they click on it, as soon as they click on the advertisement, I solve whatever that problem or answer that question specifically right in the first 3 seconds of that video, and then, offer something that is so easy, for them to say yes to, like a free downloadable, helpful guide on things to consider or something like that, just to get like one step further, not to close them, right? Because only 3% of your market in any market is at the actual buying stage right now. 60% of your market is either in like the, I know I have a problem phase and I'm just starting to look into it, or I'm actively trying to look for a solution. That's 60% of your market, but most people only focus on the 3% that is actively saying, if I can find a solution now, I'm buying it today, right? So this is a way to get in front of those other people, to get them in your pipeline, to get like those email addresses, to show them that you are the subject matter expert, to start engaging with them, to start closing those. So that way you're not just closing 3% of your funnel. You might be closing 10, 12, 15, 20% of your funnel if you're in front of them long enough and you position yourself in that way. And that's how businesses really strive. They don't fight for the little 3% of people ready to buy now, because those people, like, I'm sure we've all had them. If anybody's done sales, you make that one call and they just say, yep. And you're like, well, that was easy. Like, but those ones are so few and far between. They're so hard to find. So anyway, I just wanted to show that, a couple things that I've been working on. Again, I can show like the softwares and stuff that I use for editing and all that. Like, I try to keep my costs really, really low. There's nothing fancy here. And if something's not working for me, like, I'll test it out. If I'm not getting the ROI that I need for it, then I ditch it. But yeah. Oh, no, I can see Lewis. Nice. And you remind me so much of one of my buddies that I used to work on the recruiting command with. You look just like him.
He must have been a great guy.
He was a stud. Yeah, he was one of those guys that you hated initially because he was so good at his job, right? And then eventually you just had to take your hat off to him because he just out hustled and worked everybody. At first, like, oh, I must be doing something wrong. Ah, man, he's I don't know, he's scamming people, he's stealing from people, he's lying, he's cheating. He's like, no, he just outworked the shit out of you, and you have to respect it. Like, and he's still doing it now. Actually, he built one of my websites after he went back to school. He went to do like front and back end design work, and I was his first client when I launched one of the logistics companies.